Welcome back to Fire Emblem Echoes. It's time for Act 5. Hosted by a very angry Alm in the background.
It's not possible. Alm is the Emperor's true son, which makes him the rightful successor to the Imperial throne. All this time, all the effort, what has it all been for? No, it isn't true. It can't be. I refuse to believe it. Nothing but lies. Lies! 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 Is that an altar? How did I get here? What's happening?
Heed me.
Who are you?
Heed me. You thirst for power. Call to me. Accept me unto your soul.
That voice. Duma? Is it really you? What?
Lord Berkut!
Renea.
I've been looking all over for you. This is the last place I would have expected to find you. You always hated the faithful, after all.
This is true. But then I had the throne snatched from under me by some magical heir. Plying the gods' mercies is what men do in hopeless situations. Is it not?
I didn't mean... Forgive me. I shouldn't have said anything. Please don't despair so. Ohm seems a kind and generous man. I'm certain he'll treat you fair.
And I'm to be content with that? I wanted to beat him, Renea. To dispatch him and claim the throne. I wanted to make you my empress. And hold all Valentia in our palms together. But what of those dreams now? Even Raquel alone is now forever beyond my grasp. So I'm to live in this Alm's shadow? Throw myself upon his mercy? I would sooner an honorable death at the executioner's blade.
Berkut! You mustn't say such things. I never... The truth is, I never wanted to be Empress.
What?
To stand at your side is all I've ever desired. I don't care if you're the Emperor or a swineherd, so long as we... Berkut?
You too, Renea?
What?
Were you laughing along with them? Rudolph, Massena, and all the rest? Watching me toil away while you knew I would never become Emperor? Was every kind word part of the act? Every smile an act of pity?
Berkut, you're frightening me.
Duma. Oh, ancient god, I call out to you now. Grant me the power to set this land to ruin, for good and all. Take of me what price you will. I care not anymore. Lord Berkut! Lord Berkut? Who are you? What have you done to Lady Renea?
Grandfather, what's this door?
It leads to the altar beneath Duma Tower. But know that it is a path not easily returned from. Prepare well before you enter.
Okay, so real quick, I guess we can talk about Myson, because he is a playable character. Say hello to your backup Gold Knight. So, Myson here is actually not half bad. If you really need a unit for this final dungeon, Myson can fill that role. He will not be a hindrance to your party, despite the fact that he is a little bit weaker than he was in the prologue. Despite what Myson says, he has aged and gotten a little weaker, except for his resistance. That one's a bit better. I guess when you get old, your skin just gets really resistant to magic or something, who knows. Anyway though, the big drawback to Myson is that his growth rates are bad. He doesn't have anything over 10% except for his HP, and that's HP. I don't know about anyone else, but like, if a unit's best and really only good stat is HP, that's like the least useful thing you could have out of all stats. It helps you to not die, but like, so does defense. Now, considering this is the final dungeon, technically speaking, you might think that low growth rates aren't a huge deal, and well, I mean, look, if you've been using other Cavaliers for longer, they can easily become better than Myson, because they have actual growth rates. But yes, technically speaking, his stats are good enough now that he should be able to survive the final dungeon, but I'm warning you now, there is a post-game, so there is more than just the final dungeon. You're probably not gonna want to use Myson long-term, because when it comes to actually surviving in post-game land, you kinda need something better than what he's got in order to not bite it immediately. It is worth noting though that like, his abysmal growth rates are better than his abysmal growth rates from the original. Yeah, they were worse, but it mattered less that they were so bad in Gaiden, again because there's no post-game, and also the fights are not quite as brutal in the original game as they are here. Now, one last point that is actually worth noting. While Myson himself doesn't have the most potential, he does have a lot of supports. I mean, he's only got one support conversation, however, in terms of stat-giving supports, he can actually just, like, support with every character from Ram Village. Other than Celica. I guess she doesn't count enough. Though oddly enough, he can support with Noma, for reasons. I guess the old men get along, and I would like to see that support conversation. Wish that one existed, but I don't know. I would have thought the person that Myson actually had a conversation with on screen would have taken priority for bond supports over Noma. Just Noma. You know, Noma, that guy that we've barely thought about. But yeah, no, just like Noma is very good at bolstering your initial units from the Priory, Myson can be pretty good at supporting the Ram Village crew. So if you're using all of them, it's not a bad idea to add Myson in as well. He gives and receives a lot of bonuses because of that. And since all of them save for Alm and Noma are villagers and can be any class you want them to be, technically speaking, even if you have all of them fill out your party slots, that's a lot of characters taken, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have a bad bit of variety for the final dungeon. It just means you're kind of shoving the OG Deliverance to the side a little bit. But if you don't mind that too much and you really aren't interested in your other Gold Knights, Myson's not a bad pick for the end. I did, however, have Gold Knights that I would prefer to use, so, sorry, Myson.
Hey.
Okay, there you go. That's what you're gonna hear about Myson. He's not coming with us to the final area.
A moment, Prince Albine. I ask that you show Lord Berkut compassion. He weighed heavy on Emperor Rudolph's mind for many years. The Emperor knew that keeping the boy in ignorance could only bring him pain. And yet, The prospect of your being discovered was too great a risk. Still, Berkut was his nephew, and the same age as the son he parted with. So I beg leniency of you, if only to respect Emperor Rudolph's wishes.
It leads to the altar beneath Duma Tower. But know that it is a path not easily returned from.
Do you get it yet?
Did you hear me the first time? It's a point of no return.
Rudolph, are you here? It's me, Myson. I've come here as promised.
Ah, Myson. It has been too long. Thank you for answering my call.
There you are, my friend. I must say, I never thought I would set foot on Regalian soil again. Now, pray tell, what was so urgent that you summoned me here? I know it cannot be to simply reminisce on days gone by.
Alas, I fear not. Myson, in all my years, I have never known a truer friend than you. You are the only man I can trust with this. Here.
An infant? Rudolph, is this your...
My son, yes. He was only just born. His name is Alm. I want you to take him to Zofia and raise him as your own.
Are you mad? What father would hand off his newborn child? I love you most dear, but I must know the reason for this request.
Yes, the reason. Alm here is destined to one day champion Valentia.
How can you know this?
Look at his left hand.
The brand.
Indeed. 2 children with such a mark are prophesied to save Valentia from ruin. And now my son has been born with it. I also hear tale of a newborn Zophian princess who has this self-same mark.
2 children. Then Valentia's end is drawing near. Is Duma's madness to blame?
Yes, his time is running short.
I see.
Myson, I have to draw first blood. I must awaken the people to their potential, their own strength, and stop them from leaning so hard on the blessings and precepts of gods. I know the people will rise up against me for what I do. But as a father, nothing would make me prouder than for Alm to lead them.
Rudolph.
Promise me, my friend. Promise you will shape my boy into a true champion before that day comes. If he stays in Rigel, the Duma faithful will doubtless attempt to take his life. I want none to know of him, so he has a chance to grow up hale and happy. This is the only thing I can do for him as his father.
Very well, my friend. I promise to take care of him. I'll do what it takes to make him the finest champion Valentia could ask for.
Thank you, Myson. Goodbye, Alm. May you never forget how to be kind. When next we meet, my son, it will be on the fields of war.
Rudolph.
Blast it all! This place is crawling with terrors. So much for be gone to wherever you will, you damn useless priest!
And what is that supposed to mean? You're not actually thinking of leaving Celica in there and running away.
Did you hear me say anything about running away? Give me some credit here, you little snot! Stop flapping your jaws and focus on the fight! I'd prefer not to die here, if it's all the same to you 2 fools!
I do just really like that scene because I just like any scene where there's a group of characters just like fuck, fuck, fuck.
Yeah, that one's really good. The voice acting on that one's very strong. Do kind of just wish that was an animated scene. I just want to see him all standing back to back fighting zombies.
Well, he's running away full tilt.
Alright, so this is going to be my final team on Alm's side. Again, unless you're playing Gaiden, you don't have to worry about your team going into this too much. However, you do have to be wary of your turn wheel uses. I don't think it's a spoiler to say that by the end of this we'll be fighting the final boss, and you are going to want all of your retries for that one, even when there are other points where you could really use retries.
Whatever lies at the end of these corridors possesses a frightful aura. It sets the hairs on the back of my neck on end. The lord of this temple awaits, and here I am, terrified of him. But we must press on, if we are to put an end to this long war. Hold up, everyone.
What is it, Alm?
Someone's coming. It's... Fernand!
What?
That voice. Clive.
Fernand! Gods, what's happened to you?
Spare me your pity. I have none to blame for this but myself. Such trivialities matter not at this point. But you made it here. Then you truly intend to slay Duma?
We do. For it was Emperor Rudolph's dying request.
I see. Then he must have known of Duma's madness.
Duma is mad?
Oh yes. Duma is a god no longer. Merely an incarnation of the lust for power. You there.
Yeah? That's me.
Listen well. You must beware of Berkut. He's no longer...
Fernand!
Please, stop, Duma. I know I've no right to ask anything of you, but I beg it of you regardless. You're the only one who can end this. Let no one else be tainted by his madness. Let this tragedy end.
I will. I swear, I will lay Duma to rest.
Then I leave it to you.
Fernand, are you all right?
Strange, isn't it? Me, begging boons of you.
Not in the least. I still count myself among your friends.
You always were too nice for your own good. Always so quick to pardon me. Along the way, I forgot how to ask for forgiveness.
Fernand, please.
I knew. I always knew. None of my misfortunes were anyone else's fault. Yet if the world is rotten, then who permitted it to be so? It's me. And no one else. I took anger better aimed at myself, and turned it on the defenseless masses. I failed my duty as a nobleman.
Enough, Fernand. You've suffered enough. You needn't flog yourself any further.
Good. I am rather tired. Tired of despair. Tired of rage. But Clive, I'm glad I got to see you one last time. You were right. You chose the right king. You always were the friend I was proudest to.
Fernand? Fernand, no. Don't do this. Look at me, Fernand. Fernand!
I simply won't accept this, Fernand. I insist you wake up this instant. We're all returning to Sophia together. Fernand? Fernand, say something!
He's gone, Claire. He's gone.
No. Oh, Fernand.
Are you two going to be all right?
Yes. Grief will have its day. But it will not be this one. Right now, let us do what we must. Lead the way, Alm.
All right. Fernand, I wish I could have fought beside you in the army you created. At least now your fight is over. Farewell.
He also, like, part of this is because of the way we record this, but he was out of the plot for so long I thought he already died. I will keep mentioning that. This scene works well. It's mostly just, like, Fernand's character in general that needs some slight reworking.
Yeah.
Which, from what I know about video games, revisions of video games are fucking nightmares, so it doesn't surprise me that it wasn't reworked.
Mm-hmm.
Clive! Fernand, you came. Of course I did. I am honored to finally be able to call myself a Knight of Sophia. Alas, I fear I'm going to incur your family's wrath anew for this. They blame me for every reckless thing you've ever done. What choice did I have? Am I to while away the time frolicking with my sister? Unfortunately, she's never been one for climbing trees or playing at the river. She's nothing like your Claire. I fear my mother has about given up on my dear sister. She worries she'll never marry her off to a proper family. If Claire hears you've joined the Knights, she's liable to try and follow. She does abhor being left behind. I've no doubt Claire will come to her senses. She's at the age where girls learn to embroider and be demure. She'll soon realize it best to leave the kingdom to us men.
Embroidery needles are just weapons to her. But we've other matters to discuss.
Tell me, old friend.
Perhaps this is not a matter I should speak of, especially not while I serve His Majesty himself. But to say swift rise at court troubles me. For all intents and purposes, he now rules the kingdom.
Aye, he's a cunning one. He has been putting pressure on my father as well, much to his chagrin.
No wonder. Your father is a good and kind man. He doubtless has no desire to put his own people through such hardship. But he would be wise not to incur Desai's displeasure. Not these days. I hope he knows how to play his cards.
As do I. We all know what happened to Sir Myson, after all.
It's a damned unfortunate business, all of it. I'm certain Sir Myson would have led His Majesty down a wiser path. But now that he's been driven off, there is no point lamenting it.
If only that were the worst of it. Now that the King's scions are no more, what becomes of the royal bloodline? The Knights of Sophia need a true king to protect, not a laughingstock.
Mind your words, Fernand. The king is yet young. He can produce more heirs. And while we cannot choose our king, we can still serve our people. The nobles of Sophia have a duty to her small folk.
On that, we agree. King or no, it's the kingdom itself that is most worth protecting. Now, are you going to tell me how things are done around here or not?
Let me get you settled.
Alright, Alm has judged that scene as well, so, moving on, we've got a little bit of dungeon, before we get 2 more cutscenes, so... Enemy time. What are we working with here? Well, this doesn't look terrible.
Yes.
First things first, we've actually got a new battle theme. It's a remix rather than anything, like, completely new. This particular song is Those Who Challenge Gods, so, you know. Can probably figure out what we're doing by the end of this if you didn't figure it out already.
Our enemies have become predictable.
But yeah, slight reworking, I think it sounds pretty good. Also sounds great sped up.
Yeah, you just moving Claire up and seeing that massive red exclamation mark, like, nope!
Oh right, I have to worry about that now. Double lion. But yeah, I do think this particular song adds a good sense of urgency. Sounds nice, very dramatic for the finale. Alright, and remove you, hopefully. Yeah, 56 is fine. Alright, so now it's just the wizards. Oh yeah, and of course, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but purple water is bad, don't stand in it, it hurts. Technically speaking, that is just bits of swamp, so we've seen it before. It just feels weirder when we're in a dungeon and it's just small pools. The human brain is weird. It just changes context, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a completely different thing. No, we've seen that obstacle.
I see you found our mini-swabs, Deliverance.
It's real bad in here. There's just so much moisture. We've got mold in here, too.
It's what Duma wants.
Breathing fucking sucks. On second thought, just kill me. God, I hate being down here. Oh, you failed to kill me. This was a cruelty in and of itself.
Duma keeps making me eat asbestos.
It'll make you stronger.
He keeps saying it'll make me fireproof, but that's a fucking lie, too. That's not how it works.
Man, that was too easy.
Alright, so, this is a particularly long dungeon, so, a fair few of the shorter fights are just gonna have to go. But, you know, figured I'd show that one off, because we got a new song. But that wasn't a particularly, amazing fight. Wasn't too difficult. And here's gargoyles. We know how they work, right? There's those fuckers too, so we are gonna keep this one in. Cause I don't remember if there was a support in here as well, but there are tougher enemies. Fiends are, well, kinda just... I don't want to say they're super difficult, but they're very hardy. Sometimes I forget, because of the way that, like, the Knight class is viewed in the Fire Emblem series, that, like, sometimes the Knight class is, like... Ew, gargoyle here. Sometimes the Knight class is just kind of, like, the big final enemy, because they're very imposing and defensive, and that is actually pretty effective as endgame enemies go. They might not be dragons, but they're large armored men who don't take much damage from most things. Steer. I probably don't need to steer this clear of them, but if I don't have to take damage, that's for the better.
The Knight class is one of those things that just tends to be far more useful to the enemy than to you. Because you have to keep moving. The enemy typically doesn't. The enemy can just sit its ass in one place and you'll have to come to it.
Yep. You do the work.
Damn, Tobin's explosive arrows aren't doing enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, switched back to that bow instead of the silver bow. A, because he didn't actually get any skills for it, and I didn't really feel like writing that out. And B, we are going to be fighting a decent amount of fiends here. Claire's Lance, on the other hand, very effective.
Victory for a stunning lady.
Alright, everybody still seems to be doing fine. Even though I do kind of need an excuse to just eat through my inventory. So let's see, what do we got here? Is this cutscene central? God, the walls are just so weird and sticky looking. Okay, yep, cutscene time.
That statue... Milla? Is that really the Earth Mother?
But how could the goddess have been turned to stone? Only the sacred blade can seal a divine dragon's power. Look there. The blade protruding from her forehead must be falchion. But given that...
Home, is that you?
Celica! You're safe! Oh, I'm so glad. Wait, are you alone? Where are the others?
So this is Ulm.
Who are you?
My name is Jeddah. I must thank you for disposing of Emperor Rudolph.
Well then, Jeddah. Enjoy your last moments. I'm here to put an end to you and Duma. I'll see Zofia restored to Celica.
Oh, you can't! You mustn't!
What? Why not?
If Duma is gone, Regel's lands will turn as barren as Zofia's have. Even more people will starve.
But Celica, we can't let...
And even if you wanted to stop Duma, you can't. Nothing can stop him now. Milla has chosen to seal Falchion away with her.
What? But then... all this fighting... what was it even for? Father...
All men on tease. You stand at the pinnacle of your respective kingdoms. The hour is come for the world of man to return to the gods' control. It is the dawn of an age of fear and chaos, cradled in Duma's shadow.
We'll never let that happen.
Rejoice on Tees, for you have the honor of serving as its cornerstone.
Celica? What is he talking about?
I'm sorry, This is the only way. There's no other choice.
The girl will offer up her soul to quell the madness in Duma's heart. She does so for the sake of Rigel and Zofia's people both.
What? No! Celica, you can't! Tell me he's lying!
I'm sorry,
Do not think me a monster. I shall grant you the time for a farewell. But be quick about it.
Celica!
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
This is crazy. You can't do this! I'm going to get you out of here. Just hold on!
You don't understand, I came here knowing what awaited me.
What?
Back on the island, I had a dream. A dream where something terrible happened to you. So I decided to petition Milla for the strength to protect you. Yet for all my travels, you've still faced terrible danger. And you were even forced to end your own father's life. I'd seen it all. I knew it was coming, but I couldn't change a thing. I failed to keep you safe,
That's not... Celica, none of what's happened is your fault. You're not to blame for any of it.
But I won't lose you. I won't let any of you die. I don't want you to fight Duma. I don't want anyone to be hurt or killed. That's my only desire in this life.
Celica!
And this is the only means I have of ensuring that comes to pass. So again, I'm sorry. I wish it could have been different. I always have. I wish I could have gone home to the village and lived there with you.
Celica, please, wait! Celica!
I don't wish to be vulgar, but... well, what is the proper course of action for us now? Emperor Rudolph bade us defeat Duma, but Princess Antis asked us not to. Have we come this far simply to reach an impasse and accept it?
One thing seems abundantly clear as things now stand. The chances of Zofia's recovery are nearly extinguished. With Milla in her current state, there is little hope of change.
No. But Celica's gonna take care of Milla and Duma for us, right? Are you serious, Tobin? You're just gonna sit around on your butt and let Celica die for us? What? No! I don't want that any more than you do. But what other choice do we have? There's nothing left we can do! I'm not giving up. Huh? I'm not giving up on her! Every part of me, every fiber of my being says this is wrong. So we're going to take down Duma and bring Celica home safe. Sure, that all sounds fine and well. But how do we do that exactly?
Consider your position, Alm. You're no longer just the leader of the Deliverance. You are to be Rigel's next emperor. You must set your personal feelings aside, no matter how difficult it may be. All of Valentia depends on you now. That must be what steers your decision.
Fine. Then I decide to follow the will of the previous emperor, Rudolph. Oh, come on! What's wrong with personal feelings? All of you fought this far because you hold some kind of hope for the world. It's man's individual hopes and fears that shape the world, that drive it. And that's how it should be. I truly believe that. Should we let the world crumble on a god's whim? Or his absence?
You're right, of course. But
I don't want to lose anyone else I care about. I don't want to see anyone else lost because of Duma. Don't you feel the same, Clive?
even if we escape from Duma's control, a starving people can know no peace. Villains and thieves will arise to feed on the weakest and most vulnerable. Are you prepared to inflict that upon the world?
I will dedicate my life as Emperor to ensuring such a thing doesn't happen. And yes, I know as well as anyone that there will be losses along the way. I think I've learned that much by now. But when I think of the next 1,000 years, I don't want this. I want to leave behind a world where we shape our lives by our own hands, where we make our own mistakes and fix them as many times as necessary. That's a world worthy of a future.
So be it. If you have the determination to see it through, I'll not object. I am yours to command, Your Excellency.
Count me in. I'm not living my life bowing to Duma and his little idiots. I'll take going hungry over that any day of the week. I'm just not sure. Quit your whining and hop on board already. If it were just me, I would. But I have little brothers and sisters to think of.
I will gladly take up a trowel and work the land with them.
Wait, but you're a noble, Lucas.
Such things will mean precious little in the world ahead of us. Myself, I refuse to be controlled by Duma or go hungry. If it means working the barren earth, then I shall do just that.
And you won't do it alone. In truth, I've always been curious about farming. I'm sure we can reap or sow or whatever it is, enough to stay alive. Though I admit, I think all this talk of doom and gloom is entirely premature.
This is great, guys. Count me in too. I'm pretty handy with a plow, actually. I'll show you guys how it's done.
An emperor plowing the fields? I never thought I'd see the day.
Huh? Milla's statue is glowing.
What's going on here? Wasn't she sealed away?
She's calling me. Let's go. Milla is calling to me. We might still be able to pull this off. We have to find a way to the altar.
Really insistent on seeing get greased up, huh?
Alright, so...
Gotta find grease first.
Alright, so that particular scene, a lot of people don't like Celica and the choices she makes in this game. Gonna stab a ghost, it's 3 Dread Fighters, skipping this one. You know what it looks like. It's not easy, but you know what 3 Dread Fighters looks like. But yeah. So, Celica is the character who kinda has to job a bit at the end. But it is in large part because her whole ideal throughout the game is, well, we can just fix society by asking God, hey, fix your shit, please. You built this world, keep going. Except now we're at the point where that is literally impossible. Even if Milla weren't stabbed in the head and turned to stone, she's also going mad, so at some point, that's just going to go south no matter what. But at this point, Celica's pretty much driven by depression because everything's fallen apart around her. Like, Milla's a statue, and the best she can do is just feed Duma and hope that he isn't insane for long enough for somebody else to find a solution, and for all of her friends to not die. Now, of course, again, the big problem with Celica's portion of this game is the fact that Jetta's very obviously evil, which we will see right now in this cutscene that happens when you room change.
It is time, Aunties. Lord Duma is waiting.
Not yet. Not before you've released Milla. That was the arrangement.
I'm afraid that what you ask is beyond my ability. Milla has sealed Falchion herself. We mortals have no say in the matter.
You lied to me!
If you are displeased, Princess, I suggest you point your ire at Milla. Lay blame upon the merciless goddess who forsook her Zophian children. Cease your lamentations and come along, girl. I'll send the boy to you shortly. That I can promise.
No, not Alm! You swore to leave him alone!
How hopeless a fool can you be? Rejoice, Lord Duma! I have brought the brand-bearer who threatens your order. Take her soul unto you and feast!
No! Stop! Let me go!
Such potent energy! My Lord Duma is pleased! You needn't wait much longer. I shall offer up the other brand-bearer's soul to you presently. Aunties, I declare you reborn as Duma's faithful pawn. Now go. Fall into the darkest depths and rot with Milla below!
Alright, so yeah, that seemed bad. So yeah, on one hand, Richard Epcar is absolutely delightful as Jetta, and I do love him just being unflinchingly evil, but also does kind of weaken Celica's character a little bit when he is very, very obviously evil. You could probably guess by that man's actions that he is a liar. Though, I guess, up until these promises, he was mostly telling the truth. The gods are going mad. He just lied about him wanting Duma to not go crazy, because in fact he's absolutely fine with that. The gods are going mad? I'm gonna leave out the hell yeah from that statement, and no one will be the wiser.
Greetings, Delthea. I was hoping we could speak a little more about Luthier.
Oh gods, what now?
I was just thinking how you were exactly right about him. Gifted mage or no, he clearly inhabits his own bizarre little reality. I understand now why you might be so horrified to share his blood.
Well, yeah, obviously, duh. Wait, did I say horrified? Because, I mean, he does kinda sorta go out of his way to help others. So while he's no hot stallion like Clive, I don't know if he's all that bad. Lou's just... I don't know. Lou, I guess. I didn't mean to give you the impression that I hate him or anything.
Just as I suspected.
Huh? Hey, wait! Did you just trick me into saying nice stuff about my brother?
I merely wanted to know how you truly feel. And I must say that I'm relieved. Because now I know you love your brother every bit as much as I do mine. We must spend more time together, you and I. We have so much in common.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really big on mind games. But I do like talking to you, so... Oh, alright. I guess we can be friends.
Splendid.
Alright, so a few things. First off, this game changes a lot of the context of Celica sacrificing herself from Gaiden, because in Gaiden, the big reason she sacrificed herself was because Alm was trapped in the dragon pit. It was explicitly about that. Jeddah just said,
Hey, I'm Jeddah, we're just meeting for the second time, you fought me out in the swamp. By the way, Alm's in the dragon zone. You wanna, sacrifice yourself to Duma? I'll let him out.
And then, yeah, she's tossed into the final dungeon at that point. Now, they did remove some import from Alm being trapped in Dragon Hell. I don't know if that's because they had expanded that scene already and just thought, hey, we're not left with much. But that's probably it. I can't imagine they went, oh, let's get rid of the dragon pits. We're going into Fire Emblem Echoes explicitly to change that and nothing else. That is the only thing that was wrong with Gaiden.
Yeah, it was probably, let's have a scene where Alm and Celica talk right before she sacrifices herself. Wait, Alm can't do that because it's in the dragon pit. Well, we'll shuffle that around.
So yeah, like... And I also think it gives more importance to, like, Celica's own beliefs. Rather than just, hey, Alm's in the dragon pit. It's, hey, everything you've believed in, yeah, that's all going down the toilet, so, do you have anything left? Just your, self-sacrificing nature? Cool. And then, as it turns out, no, that's not helping either, because, again, I cannot stress this enough, Jeddah is such a liar. Will not stop lying. But yeah, like, I think a lot of people just see Celica acting completely in despair, and just go, well, why didn't she just, kick Jeddah off a cliff and kill Duma herself? That's what I would do. Rip to Celica, but I'm different. I get it is not the optimal character choice, and that doesn't always come off as great, and it is incorrect overall. And Alm's the one who's in the right, because his whole standpoint is, gods ain't gonna save us, so humans will. But yeah, Celica kind of takes the brunt of that, unfortunately.
If it isn't my least favorite criticism, why isn't this character completely perfect in every way?
And also, I'm gonna be honest, I think having the other characters interact in that scene as well also really helps, because part of it could just be like, maybe you, the player, are, you know, not super jazzed about gods and their place in the world. You know, I cannot claim to know the religion of every single person playing this, but, you know, me being agnostic, the concept of, well, human beings should just take care of human beings and their problems, you know, that just makes sense, because this continent was not literally founded by two gods. It's not a problem I normally have to deal with. But, you know, in-universe, this is kind of a big deal. God being dead and turned to stone. Not good. Very bad. Like, people don't even know how they're going to effectively plow the fields anymore if God's not actively making the dirt good, or whatever. Whatever the problem there is. Like, we know the land is still tillable because people have had to do it, but, like, I guess Milla just made that super easy. You get dirt plus, it's better than normal dirt.
I feel the Mother's protection.
But yeah, just having characters actually... Oh, Delthea got Ragnarok, very nice. But yeah, having characters actively just sit there and go, we're kind of fucked, right? Kind of helps take a little bit of pressure off Celica. It's not just her making a wrong decision in a vacuum. It's her at her wit's end, and she's just in a worse position than everybody else is, because everybody else can rally behind Alm, who has always been all about that humans rule humans thing.
Alm has always been willing to kill God with his own bare hands.
Mm-hmm. It's just now he actually has the chance to.
The only thing that I want to say about Celica is that the issue that I have with the way Celica is written for that scene is that it is a systemic issue in that ostensibly the most important female character in this game now exists to die for the sake of the male character. And everyone else, but mainly the male character, especially in original Gaiden. But that's a systemic issue, so I try not to get too mad at specific instances of it unless it's really, really bad. And I don't think this is really, really bad. It's only a little bad.
You may recall me mentioning the pilgrimage my mother and I went on. Well, as it turns out, the pilgrimage was in Rigel. This is because my mother was a cleric of the Duma faithful. It was only later that she crossed to Sofia and left me with the priory. It was sudden, and I never learned why. She simply vanished from my life. But another mother rescued me when I was at my lowest. The Mother Milla. Now I will spend my life repaying that debt however I can. I will bring the mother's wisdom to the meek and lonely, and save them in turn.
Clive and I became close after enlisting in the Knights of Zofia. Our houses had cordial relations before that, but Claire wouldn't let me near her elder brother. On the battlefield, Clive was like some mythological hero. From the moment I saw him, I knew my heart was his. And for all his toughness, when the two of us are alone, he can be quite... Well, that is none of your concern.
Oh, can I help you? I seem down? Yes, well, I suppose I have been ruminating a bit. It's just, what if Zeke's memory somehow comes back? What if he remembers he has another family or another lover? Of course, it would only be right if he returned to her in such a case. But I must be a selfish, awful person, because I don't want him to remember. What the gods must think of a sinful servant like me.
Alright, so we're gonna cut here, because this is the start of the next portion, which would have had to happen anyway, because we're about to come up to a tough fight. One of the points that will really tempt you into using a turn wheel. However, I'm dumb as hell, because I must have tossed out my original version of that first part of the recording, because after recording it, I couldn't find it after like a week, so that was fun. I had to record that entire first segment again. Yes, the very, very cutscene heavy first segment.
For the viewers at home, this recording has been delayed 3 weeks.
Well, no, not this one. Like, I'm done with the game, in terms of recording.
Oh, okay. Okay. I meant this audio recording.
I think we only skipped last week.
Oh. Oh, that's right, it's the uploads that have been skipping for multiple weeks.
Mm-hmm. The passage of time is a bastard. I get you there. Alright, so, I think I'm done talking about Celica. I think we're also to the next big portion, which is good because I want to talk about this dungeon in Original Gaiden, because that's actually pretty interesting. However, I believe we're almost to a certain chamber. Yep, this is looking familiar. I've been on this walk a few times.
There! It's him!
kept me waiting, Olm. Or should I say, Your Excellency. Perhaps Emperor Rudolph II of Rigel.
Berkut, listen to...
Tell me, how does it feel to possess both Sophia and Rigel? I imagine it's wonderful. Though it's a sensation I'll never know.
This isn't a conquest for me. I have no illusions the people of Rigel will suddenly welcome me as their ruler. But my father placed this land in my care, and I'll do anything for it. Whatever it takes to keep Valentia's people safe. The path ahead is a difficult one for us all. So help us, Berkut. Lend us your strength. Rigel's people trust and love you far more than me. You and I are cousins, after all. Family. I didn't think I had any family in this world. And yet, here you are. I know we can be close friends as well. Let's work together, Berkut. Put all we have toward ensuring all Valentia is...
Silence.
What?
Listen to you. Offering mercy and trite platitudes from on high. Work together. Us. Don't make me laugh. Strength isn't lent, it's taken. Pride from the grip of your dead foes!
What the... So this is what Fernand warned us about. Berkut has taken in Duma's power. He's no longer the man we knew.
No! Duma? How could you? What's the point of power if you have nothing left to protect?
I finally realized something. Power won't betray me. Power won't deceive me. Blood ties? Years of life lived together. All meaningless. The only thing in the world a man can rely on is his own strength.
Years of... Are you accusing my father of betraying you? You're wrong. He loved you. He worried about you to the last. You knew him so much better than I did. How can you not see that?
Silence! I'm tired of listening to your pretty little lies. It's time, Renee. Come with me. We'll hold our wedding atop his funeral.
Berkut!
You weren't even married and you sacrificed your wife to Duma? Okay, so... this fight is a bastard. Yeah, see all those things that Renee has? Yeah, so she can summon witches, she can use magic without getting damaged. He's got a good lance. Hey, you know what the game doesn't mention? They've got supports. They are stronger by standing next to one another. So, killing one or the other on their own is hard enough. But they're together for the fight, which means they are nigh invulnerable. So, like, this initial bit, this is also a very good formation, which I would fear and respect normally, but as a lead-up to the boss, which is actually also fairly tough, yeah, no, this is not an easy fight in the slightest. So like I said, I was absolutely not going to finish this episode in one segment. Unfortunate that it turned out the way it did and I had to redo the first bit, but, you know, sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you're dumb. But yeah, no, this took me a few tries. Thankfully, though, I did remember Invoke existed, and that it's highly useful. It's very good to have meat shields, or ghost shields, as it were. Also, yes, by this point they are Dread Fighters.
your ghosts do power up with you, which is not normally a thing I notice, because usually I don't use Invoke. And honestly, they are pretty tough. They're soaking some pretty good damage. And quite frankly, at this point, I don't care about experience as much. I mean, do I need levels? Yeah, sure. I would like to show off the overclasses, but at this juncture, I don't care as much.
Right. Now the hard part. Well, never mind.
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of mages, though, is the thing. So, like, that guy, yeah, I can take out that fiend with magic, which is good because these guys don't particularly go down to magic, so divert Delthea to what she can actually do. Except now I have a weird party split. So yeah, this team is mostly physical fighters, which helps more against dread fighters than mages would. But they're still not easy.
We have gone over this before, but what is the answer to dread fighters supposed to be? Because they resist mages, but they're also, like, pretty beefy physically, so other physical units aren't the best for taking them out.
The solution to dread fighters is lay down and die. No. Honestly, it is kind of other dread fighters, because, like, they're just very good all-around classes, because they're fairly fast, they hit decently. Your own dread fighters probably hit better than the enemy dread fighters. Though speed is always a variance on characters. Gray's own speed is kind of evading me right now. But yeah, no, they're, strangely enough, also very, very tough. Like, I talked up the fiends earlier, but I did just kind of nuke one with Delthea. And other than Double Lion, I don't really have that answer for any other character. Damn, you got crit by a ghost. Sucks for you, buddy.
These ghost dread fighters are just obliterating these witches. Like, these witches are not tactically useful.
I mean, to be fair, they are kind of her own version of Invoke, but also, that just means that my meat shields are better than her meat shields. Okay, so, another thing that I did not, actually voice, but you might have noticed, when I was looking over Renea's abilities, she does have the ability to just kidnap you. If you are in her range, she can just use a spell to just yoink a character right by her, at which point, she and Berkut will just stomp your ass. Renea just points to somebody from across the field and goes, "That person. I don't like their vibes. Get them, babe."
You took everything from me. You will suffer for what you've done.
Well, I don't think I've ever spoken to you. That damage, of course, will not last. I should also mention, yeah, no, Great Big Pillar of Fire will also just heal them. Thankfully, it doesn't also do damage to you, because then this battle would be even more of a pain.
Berkut's Spear, Kriemhild, I really don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I noticed that as a German name, so I wondered if it means anything. So it is a reference to a character in Germanic folklore who is the sister of a trio of kings of Burgundy. But it is derived from Old German names, or Old German words, Grimo, which means mask, and Hilt, which means battle, so his spear is named Mask Battle.
Whether you like it or not, mask battle. Get down.
I challenge you to a mask fight, I don't even know what that means.
Alright, so here's the hard part. Everything. I think going for Renea first is the better option, just because she's slightly easier to kill. Now, she does have a ring, which theoretically could keep her at 1 HP if you were to do enough damage to her. Good news, however, the chance of that is based on luck, and she doesn't have any.
Alright, fuck this guy. Nice.
Unfortunately, Berkut does not have any voice lines for his crits. Alright, just continue blowing her up, and now... Oh god, that hit rate is abysmal.
That was even worse!
Abysmal. Gray, you're making it worse somehow. Gray, stop heckling Tobin. You're supposed to have a support together.
I just like the
I
idea.
wish I had any skills to use to up my hit rate.
I just like the idea of Berkut saying, "You took everything from me, Tobin," and Tobin going, "Well, if he's accusing me of it, I better actually do it."
Alright, fine, I'll kill your fucking wife with a 26% hit chance. What do you think of that?
Woo, level up! It wasn't even worth it.
I mean, he needed the skill, clearly.
I killed your wife for 1 point of skill, Berkut.
Okay, so now Berkut is slightly more fightable.
Okay, what is his greatest enemy, Tobin, going to fight him?
Much better.
Alright, so none of us are in range, though, and now that Renea can't just teleport us over so that he can beat the shit out of us, I'm just gonna stand close to him without going in there. You can get him, Ghost. You can do it, I believe in you. I somehow believe in you more. I believe in you less. Okay, yeah, you're... No longer do I believe in you. Get out of here. Alright, well, thankfully he can't counter from over here. Thank you, Majoring.
Anyways, this spell is named after, like, a war that kills all of the Norse gods, and it does 15 damage. This ends a religion, and it barely touches Berkut.
He's very strong. Less strong without his flaming ghost wife, but strong nonetheless. Alright, get his ass for 1 damage, Tobin.
The fact that Tobin's arrows explode just makes everything he does so much funnier.
Alright, double lion. Did not crit, unfortunately. Alright, well, would have been good to be able to kill him with that, but, Alright, well... What if, Berkut, I said you needed Jesus? Would you believe me?
Alright, Silk, you got this.
So be it.
This cannot...
Grog!
Oh no, I thought Tobin was my worst enemy, but it was Silk all along.
I wasn't even close to leveling up, Berkut, and you weren't enough EXP!
Why, Berkut? To have finally found family after all this time. Why did it come to this?
I have no family. Nor do I want for one. Now stop talking and finish this. End me. And you can stand alone as inheritor of Raquel's royal blood.
I never wanted that. Don't you get it? I've spent enough of my life alone.
My Lord Berkut.
Renea? Renea? Is that really you?
Dear proud Berkut. Even without crown or throne or castle, you were ever my emperor, a just, right, and noble man.
Renea?
You were born to lead. This just wasn't your empire. So come with me now. Let us find our empire together. If you'll still take me for your empress.
You're right. You were always right. The moment I turned to a power beyond myself. The man you loved was dead. Renea, forgive me. If you'll have me, I'd be honored to set out with you.
Berkut!
Is that you, Alm? Here, take this.
A ring?
A memento of my mother. Let it be of some use.
Berkut, no! Please, I don't want to be alone again. Help me rebuild Raquel. Tell me about my father.
You're not a child anymore. You must make Valentia a land not of gods, but of men. A world where people never again are corrupted by divine power. You can do it. I know you.
Berkut! Berkut! Why? Someone please tell me. I never got to know you. Or my father.
Anyways, we got a cool ring.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's gonna be another fucking memory prism after this. We'll see me actually collecting it in the next episode, but I'm showing it here because, oh, I did actually collect it now, I guess.
You're just seething in anger.
You there. What are you doing?
Lord Berkut, pray forgive me, my lord. I did not mean to give offense.
Not at all. I approached you. It seems a terrible waste that you would come to a ball just to be alone.
Perhaps. But mine is a lesser house, and I do not seem to find much favor here. In the end, I tired of all the eyes on me and retreated.
You are mistaken, my lady. You were invited here. You have the right to carry yourself as anyone else.
As you say, my lord.
Do you not like dancing?
My lord? That is to say, I love to dance. In most circumstances. There is a little grove behind my manor. Inside is a flower garden where small birds gather. It is a place dear to me. On days of fine weather, I go there alone and dance until my feet... forgive me. You must find this all so terrifically dull.
On the contrary.
Hmm?
Tell me your name.
It's
Renea, my lord.
Renea. A lovely name. Renea, may I have the next dance?
What? You mean with me? Oh, I couldn't possibly. I mean, what would people think?
Then we can dance here, away from prying eyes and wagging tongues. That is, if you do not mind the absence of your garden and birds.
Lord Berkut, you are too sweet.
I pray that is a yes. I am the Emperor's nephew, after all. To refuse me would be most uncouth.
I would love to dance with you, my lord. Shall we?
My lady.